Good morning. Or afternoon, as it is for me. Sunday afternoon. I literally just walked in from the beach. Here's my warm pencils and my cool pencils. And the work for today, I kind of already hybrided it. Is that a word? From my stuff. My list, my folder of goodies, which I'm going to work on a little bit tomorrow. What did I do in here? I did a bunch of stuff on the beach. I was practicing putting a first layer down for watercolor beach scenes. Hurricane. Christmas. Jonathan Flies Again from Jonathan Livingston Seagulls. Remember that book way back in the 70s? Another base layer for watercolors for a beach. Oh, Christmas. Playing for sure. That one's already claimed. Oh, this was for Ukraine. I added a little bit more to that. This was before the hurricane. I made that 2 years ago with my foot, which my foot is in real bad shape right now. What we did, how many planes flew over me? If you follow me on Instagram, Beth A5673, I believe. You'll see how close we were to the airport when I was sitting on the beach. A background for something. I think I already had that one though. Just playing. Some half done, some all the way done. So this is a new journal that I started. I did not start this 9/5/22. Not even close. Some of this has been in here for 4 or 5 months. That's the stuff I did for iCAD. That was my iCAD list. So that was, when is iCAD? In August or July? That's probably when I started this. Pizza paper. Okay. All right. That's neither here nor there about what we're doing today. Never mind. What's better than George Clooney on your desk? 2 George Clooney sitting on your desk. Came out of Time magazine. When we went to Italy in 2006, he was advertising for Nespresso then. That was a new thing for American movie stars to advertise in a different country, because not every American would see it then, and they could like get easy money off of advertising. Now everybody does it, but it was Nespresso back then, 2006. So he's loyal to his brand. All that to say he's loyal to his brand. All right. Yes, I have gone back to a 4x8, slightly 4x8, with this kind of stuff. I've got a couple pages I need to put the backs on, but I'm home for 4 or 5 days, hopefully. A couple little places I need to put backs on. I need to put it back on this. But we're getting there. Here was the Stay Puft Man, which we just passed a Halloween yard that had like 2 Stay Puft blow up things in their yard. They had Beetlejuice worms. They had 2 of those and a ton of other little ones. But that's neither here nor there for today. So today I'm going to try and do all my stuff on this page right here with a little bit of help from maybe a tip in that goes this way. And it's about the public library, because the first ghost thing they were hired to do was at the public library, the New York Public Library. And this is one of my all-time favorite places. I love this library. One day, now there's another branch right across the street that's a lot of research materials that you can't take out. Not necessarily old. There's some research stuff in here that's old, but stuff you just can't take out. And I sat over there for hours just going through books of maps. It was the most fun. The last time I was in New York, I did that. All right. Okay, don't need that. Now I might use, no, I'm going to use this. So here's the front of the library. I printed this all in black and white. And then I have these 2 things like strips, but they're not the same size as this, are they? Well, I got to think about this. I just knew I wanted to use this, but I didn't know how I was going to use it. So I have the lions out front, and then I have two of those, and 2 pictures of books, and then 2 library cards that have quotes on them. One is, books don't just go with you, they take you where you've never been. Anonymous. I love that. And this one is George R.R. Martin. A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one. Oh, Gunner's barking at the cat. So, I'm home. I literally said hello to my husband, kissed him, hello, kissed him goodbye, and he left because he's on his way to Charleston for another conference, which he only goes to like 2 or 3 a year. And this year they happen to be like literally back to back. He just got home last week and he's gone again. I went to the beach house. I didn't get to stay at the beach house because they asked us not to, because there's so much debris that there's not enough room for my car and the construction workers' cars under our spot. Okay, now let me think about this. But they have started construction. It is a gigantic mess. But I'm hoping I can go back there Thursday because we're missing all of Halloween down there. Part of it was canceled because of the storm. All right. Think, if you were Allie Edwards, how would you do this? But yes, our golf cart is not ruined. Oh my gosh, I don't know how it's not. There's weather stripping. And I don't know what brand of weather stripping this is, but it is worth its weight in gold. Literally. Because the bottom, the doors, which are in the front where you drive the golf cart in, are wide enough for a golf cart and a little bit more. They have weather stripping on them, on the base of the doors. And then there's some kind of wrap underneath inside. And I'm sure it's some kind of construction code. I don't know. But there is no water in our little garage down there. Because we store a lot of beach toys and beach buggies and husband's tools and ladders and things like that under there. And the golf cart. But it's got some sand in it that came through the vents. And that's another thing. There's vents. So I think a little, because it was 1.5 feet deep at our garage. The water from Hurricane Ian. There's no sand dunes left in front of our house, in front of that whole complex where we are. They're rebuilding them. They're already taller than me with more sand. Every morning they take bulldozers and go down there and bring up more sand. So they're constructing them from what's there every morning. Lots and lots of debris. We have gravel, well, not gravel, big river rock on the sides of our spot underneath. And on 3 sides, and then this side's the street. And there's tons of sea oats and stuff in those that has to be cleaned up. But there's no point in cleaning our spot up until the construction crew leave because they are messy. I went there to get Bella's metal detector. She wanted to bring that here. And I went in there to get something else. I went there twice just for a few minutes each time. But anyhow, we're missing Halloween. Okay. Now, I printed some stuff. Now, I could use this as a border. I have some more. I'm making basically my own ephemera pack, which is kind of like what I like doing. And I've bought some printables. I've made some. Now, this is kind of cute. I made like paper washi tape. I love this with the ambulance and the license plate and then slime and then the characters. Have some extra stuff in here too. Where's my stuff? Where are my printables? I have a huge pile of them. I guess that's all the big ones. Everything else is cut down smaller. I gotta think about this. Anyhow, my brain is fried. We came home much later. My sister's thing is still actually going on until 5 today, but she left a little early. And it was, I got to go to the beach. Well, I went to the beach for a few hours yesterday. And then I went back to the hotel, took a nice, long, hot bath, which was marvelous. And then chilled out for an hour or so, and then she was ready to go to dinner, and we went to dinner and went to a Christmas decoration store. Neither one of us bought anything, believe it or not. And that was Saturday, so Friday, I can't even remember. I don't remember. I'll have to get my brain unfried, and then maybe I can remember tomorrow. How do I want to do this? I wrote in here, I got this off of Wikipedia, or no, the library's website, the history. There are 92 branches of this library in New York, in the boroughs. 92, including 4 research centers. Focus on the humanities and social sciences, the performing arts, Black history and culture, business, industry, and a network of neighborhood libraries throughout the Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island. Free and open access to its physical and electronic collections and information, as well as to its services for people of all ages, from toddlers to teens and adults. 51 million items, among them materials for the visually impaired. Thousands of exhibits and public programs, including classes in technology, literacy, research, English for speakers of other languages. The library serves some 18 million patrons who come through its doors annually. In addition, the library's website receives 32 million visits annually from more than 200 countries. That just is wild. It is a beautiful, the main branch, the main building with the lions out front and everything is beautiful, which is the scene of the first place they went to as Ghostbusters, as a business. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here, because I got this white space up here. Oh, what is the quote for this one? Disgusting blob. I wonder where that might be. I could put some pumpkins up there. This one is from a printable that I bought from Crystal Indignate, which I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Trying to say it right, but oh, here's our quote for today. I might put pumpkins up there, actually. Let's see if I can make that work. What else? I'm really getting tired of green and black. Oh, now this one I like this, but this is too big, I think. Boo. Maybe not. I could put this with pumpkins on either side and cut it down. That's what I'm going to do. That one I bought from Crystal, too. I bought a whole sheet of printables. That was part of it. Okay, so if I do this, cut this down, and then I have room for 2 little pumpkins on either side. I like that. And then I don't know where I'm going to put these. Maybe right here? Except I don't like the blue. And then this disgusting blob might go across both of these. That I can work with. That I like. But I don't like that blue paper. Aha. I painted some. They might be in here. Oh, I have this. I made this. Don't worry, I'm a scientist. I just did it over and over again. I did paint some stuff. I need to paint some more. Here's black stuff. Here's some more black circles. We'll do that. Since this is all black and white, this video is going to be longer than I've been doing. I think I'm going to do this black and white. The dog's barking at the cat next door. So yeah, I literally walked in the house, kissed my husband hello, and off he went. I said, hello. I said, traffic's terrible. Love you. Bye. Be careful. Call me when you get there. Let's see how straight I got this. When I was talking about how this thing is curved, see, it's just designed like that. But I was using this as a straight edge sometimes. And I couldn't figure out why my stuff was always crooked. Well, hello. All right, we could cut a little bit of this off. So I need to go by these lines on here all the way. And for some reason this morning, I don't know if it's because I was at a hotel, my phone, not my phone, my iPad started picking up, which I don't think it's the iPad's fault. I started getting wackadoodle stuff on Instagram. I'm like, I don't want to have to give up and change my Instagram thing again. I don't know how to block all these people infiltrating. I have infiltrators on my Instagram again. Not a lot, but I'm afraid to turn it back on. And I don't post on there purposely, hardly, because the trolls were so bad last time on my 4x8 account that I just shut it down or stopped posting completely there. Because I would love to have my Instagram be 4x8 paper stuff, but alas, society, not society, but those people out there that are way more technical than me. I might put a green border around this, or maybe just black. Keep this one black and white. All right, we're gonna do, oh, you know what? I need something on the flap too, don't I? Maybe I do one here. Oh, here comes Schmo. Hello. Hello. Are you afraid of the ghosts? I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I might put these like right here. Cut these apart and then spread them around on that side. That's what I'm going to do. We've been sleeping with the window, or my husband's been sleeping with the windows open, and there's the house next door has a tin roof on their screened-in back porch. And every time an acorn falls, it scares the living, you know what, out of this dog. And so that's going to be fun tonight. But it's so nice right now. We only get a few weeks a year, if that many, times where you can have windows open here. A little bit in the spring before the pollen hits, and a little bit in the fall. Otherwise, it's too humid or too hot. Let's see how, or I could put both quotes here. Let's do that. So I painted a little bit on the beach until I dropped my paints in the sand. That was fun. But all my watercolor pans have sand in them. And I still used them. And as soon as everything dried off, I just brushed the sand off. That came with the paint. That definitely needs something. But I can add that with markers or whatever. Maybe pencils since they're right here. We did not do any fancy food eating. My sister is not a fancy food person. She does like shrimp and stuff, but we weren't on our beach end. We weren't on that end. We were at the other end. Well, not too far. We were very close to the airport. Which is close to our beach house too, but I think it's like 5 miles from our beach house. But sitting on the beach, I was right next to the runway. So I had a thrill of a lifetime seeing those planes right over my head. And this morning, or this afternoon coming home, we have to go past Shaw Air Force Base, which is in Sumter. And the highway is right next to the flight path. And a humongous cargo plane, an Air Force cargo plane, was landing right over us. I remember when I was married, previous life, my practice husband, we were stationed at, he was stationed at Eglin Air Force Base. And I was the first day after we got married because we got married in California and came to Sumter, or no, Florida. Eglin's at Florida. He was from Sumter. That's how I got here. I was getting my ID card. Brand new. Brand spanking new. Like the day after we got here. That was the first thing I needed to do, was get my military identification stuff all squared away. And the back roads to the offices for all that were right along the flight path. And a gigantic cargo plane came over my little tiny car. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die on my first day here. I thought for sure that thing was going to land on me. And that was one of those gigantic ones that takes Humvees and all that. This one was big today. I think I'm just going to use one thing of books. We don't want to be too smart, you know. But traffic was bad. Not as bad as it is in the summer. The height of the summer. But it's still crazy anymore. We left much later than I normally do, but I wanted my sister had to do a couple more things before we could leave. And we stayed in separate hotel rooms just because she was coming and going and I would be coming and going, and we would both snore. They didn't have any rooms left with, because we were supposed to stay at the beach house. But alas, that didn't happen. And alas, she snores, I snore. Oh, they didn't have any rooms left with double beds. She goes, can you sleep together with a king? I'm like, no. She snores, I snore. Well, I don't think I do, but I've been told I do. And she always has an iPad going all night. And it's like, let's just get 2 rooms. Which luckily they had them at the last minute still. And but we sit across the hall from each other. She was running back and forth. Tap, 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 tap. She had a minute. Okay, I need a little ruler. Oh, I have new key cards too. Probably shouldn't do this on here. In case I scribble it. It doesn't normally take me this long in real time, but I am kind of fried. Brain dead. Oh, I walked around the mall. She needed a blanket. They had the air conditioner vent right over her, and she was freezing. So she says, "Can you go get me a throw?" She says, "Something real cheap and stuff, fine, but I just need a throw." Because she gets a cold real easily if cold air is blowing on her. She says, "I have my hood of my sweater over my neck as much as I can get it." She says, "But it's freezing in here." So I went to the mall. I haven't been to a mall in a couple years, and I surely haven't been to a mall that was that busy for a very long time. It's like, geez Louise. People, you're at the beach. You're supposed to be at the beach. Okay. Now, let's see. Maybe I should put, oh, you know what? Okay, since we're going to, all right, let's get this done. It's coming together. So normally it doesn't take me quite this long, but I think I am a little brain dead after driving for 3 hours and more traffic than I would care to usually have. I think we're cutting the top of this off. But I'm hoping I can go back on Thursday and then stay till the end of, at least the end of the month, for all the Halloween festivities. Okay. stuff straight, right? Okay. So I'm going to stick this here and let's cut out one of these pumpkins. These are ones I just drew on Procreate real quick. Somebody made a comment somewhere on one of my videos that said, you should teach classes in Procreate. I'm like, no. I'm way, way too novice for that. There's lots of people that teach them, would do a much better job. And half the time, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I have learned by hook or by crook, which is usually the best way I learn. Most of the time, just kind of jumping in there and doing it. So I'm like, no, I'm not a good teacher. And half the stuff I find either by accident or I saw somebody else doing it. Like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. But it is invaluable. Now, I got the level that you pay for, but I think it was like $9, and that's it. One payment of $9. Hold on, I gotta glue this down first. I think it was something like that. No new art supplies. I do have my Christmas all planned out while I was sitting on the beach. I'm like, it came to me. Like, that might work. I like that idea. This is gonna have to be cut. It's gonna be interfering with the center. So I was trying to plan all that out. That was fun because my imagination just runs. Okay. I don't know how fun it is for you, but it's a lot of fun for me. All right. I think that's going to do us. The library. Oh, you know what? This needs a little green. Right here. Oh, welcome back to the squeaky chair. Boy, the hotel room had nice desk chairs. This is the kind of chair I need to get. No squeaks whatsoever. There's a squirrel fussing at the dog, I think, right outside this window. Bless his heart. As soon as he went on a long hike yesterday with my husband and our granddaughter, he said he was tired last night. I'm like, I'm sure, because he's a little chunky. My husband gives him way too much table food. Okay. I might put a pumpkin there too. A little one. I only have one little one left. Yeah, the big ones are too big. Here he comes. Hey, Gunner. I don't know if my football team's on today. They played Monday. Okay. Oh, I like this. See how simple? That's what you call hybrid. A little bit of Procreate, a little bit of images, a little bit of painting. That's mixed media. But I like it. Disgusting blob. Gunner. Oh, sorry, people. Sorry. All right, that's a good place to stop. Have a good day. Bye.